have as a kid. But when leaves are wet, they're slippery. So just be cognizant of that, and that there's a ton of paving going on too, as Bernadette said last meeting. So there's a lot of detours and streets being closed, but I think they're doing pretty well. Alex, you probably have a better handle on that. Okay, and that's all I have. So Diane,
Just to add to your leaves and paving, if you are having your street paved, you have to follow certain rules with the leaves, like not put them in the street. So just be cognizant of that.
and they will be picked up.
Yeah, they'll be picked
So
up. Yeah. We talked about the historical society. Other than that, pretty much operations normal, except for the street fair on Sunday.
yeah, thank you. Pete,
Okay, from community activities, some interesting announcements here. Schools are closed November 9th and 10th for the New Jersey Teacher Convention, and New Providence Recreation is hosting several schools out camps to keep your kids busy. So I think that sounds interesting. Registration is open now through Community Pass for all sports, lacrosse, basketball, soccer, or tennis camps. So something to keep in mind. The lights are on for evening play until the end of November at the municipal pool, basketball courts, tennis courts, and the new pickleball courts. So go out and enjoy evening play with the weather being so nice through November. Thank you.
thanks, Pete. Matt,
Operations normal.
Nadine,
The only thing that I remembered was this upcoming Saturday, I believe, is the Take Back Day. The police department's doing the pill Take Back Day.
yep,
It's on the Borough website.
okay,
If anyone wants to participate.
And they're always there to talk to people. And I think there's also the car seat check.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's part of police and community together. The police department is always accessible, and that'll be a good day for that.
I did that car seat check when my kids were little. I put my entire body weight on my car seat. I cranked it tight. I took it over to the police station. I'm like, there's no way this thing's going to be perfect. And the woman police officer got in the car and she's like, sir, you're going to kill your kid. So if it's a free, go service, please definitely take advantage of it. They do a great job.
So, but that's it for me.
okay. Alex,
Just two things, Mayor. Diane and I met 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, with Jolanta Maziaras. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. She's the regional external affairs person from JCP&L and First Energy. We just wanted to get an update on what they're doing in town, infrastructure. We're doing the sewer lining, the water mains, but what is the utility company doing for us, or what's in their plans? So a couple of things that we learned. In our area, they are replacing a lot of the wooden poles that have the high tension wiring, not what we see in the streets. And interesting enough, they're going to be metal type poles, not wood poles, so that squirrels and other wildlife do not crawl and get up there, because that's probably one of the most common things for
in
outages.
fact, that's what caused the outage the other morning.
The other day,
Was a
yeah.
squirrel.
Correct. We also learned a little bit about their response time. We were kind of reassured that the staffing for our area is very well staffed, one of the best in their area, as she told us. They have several materials about what happens when there's an outage, when somebody reports it. I think what we see on social media at times, well, there's a truck here, but the guy's just sitting here. Well, the first truck that arrives actually assesses the problem and then calls in for the reinforcements. So based on what materials she sends to Diane and myself, we'll decide how much we should post on the borough website. But it was very informative. Keith Lynch was there with us, so it was great. Second thing I wanted to mention and thank everybody on council, and the mayor especially, for the vigil that we held on Thursday night. Of course, Mayor Morgan spoke, Shonda Yanzan from the NP Diversity. We had Reverend Victor Franco speak from United Methodist Church. And of course, Rabbi Avi Friedman and Cantor Janet Roth from Summit JCC, my synagogue. Nadine, Nadine and Diane helped with the candles. I think we had well over 200 people there. Also want to thank the New Providence Police Department and the DPW. I mean, it was just one very safe, but very somber and very important vigil to have. So I thank everybody here for your support. A lot of the community reached out also to me to see what they can help with. So very touching and very proud to be part of this community.
Well, thank you for getting everybody together, Alex.
Thank you for
It was heartwarming, and I have to say, a lot of people came up to me and with tears in their eyes,
Yeah,
and it was an emotional time. So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa, you're right.
Mayor, operations are normal.
Okay. Wendy, anything from administration?
She left no report.
Okay. Okay, at this time, we have public comments. Anybody wishing to address council, come up, give your name and address.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Kathleen Dolan, 12 Laurel Drive. As the demographics of New Providence are changing, so are the needs of our residents. We recently welcomed the first phase of the continuing care community at Lantern Hill. There's another phase planned, totaling close to 1,000 residents over 62 who will be living on the southern edge of town along Mountain Avenue. 55 plus adult community is planned to be constructed also along Mountain Avenue. The senior population is quickly becoming the largest age demographic at 24% over 65 years old in our town. We're all aware that our municipal taxes have risen every year for the past 20 years, and seniors over 65 are typically retired and live on a fixed income. So even as more seniors move into retirement communities or continuing care facilities, tax increases are forcing some seniors to make the difficult decision to relocate. According to the 2020 Gratis Fund survey, taken by over 800 New Providence adults of all ages, older residents in New Providence want the following: homes that allow people to age in place, affordable home services, better connection to local volunteer opportunities, local within-town transportation options, and local activities geared toward adults 55 to 70 and an easy way to learn about them. Seniors say it's not easy to find opportunities to get involved, even though there are plenty of ways to contribute. Transportation isn't readily available, especially on the weekends for those who can't or shouldn't drive. Seniors enjoy being a member of clubs or communities or local community groups, but the DeCorso Senior Center is no longer available in the evenings for meetings due to other community activities being scheduled. So unfortunately, the needs expressed by our seniors in this recent survey are not being fully met. And as a result, although they'd love to stay, many are planning to move out of New Providence to live in age-friendly homes at a lower cost of living. So I wanted to know, can you share our borough's plans for enticing our seniors to stay? And is there interest in constructing a community center that can be open every day of the week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. for all local clubs and committees to use?
I think our seniors are well taken care of in this town. There is transportation for them with our senior bus. You just hired a retired bus driver. You know, I always laugh that everybody says you want to keep your taxes low. You want to do all these things. Now you're bringing up building a new community center. Now you're talking about hiring more people to manage this. Everything that you do costs money. And the seniors here, and I go down to the senior center quite a bit and know them personally. In fact, they're like second parents to me because I grew up here. Nobody's complaining. And they all know that other things happen in town. And if you ask them, all their events, they used to be in the evening. Now they want their events in the afternoon because they don't like traveling in the dark. You take the average senior down at our senior center, I think it's like 80 years old. So They don't like driving in the dark. So I understand. I'm a senior myself. And, you know, the seniors of long ago aren't the seniors of today. They're a lot more active and they're able to get around. So thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address council? Seeing no one, I declare that.
No, not quite. I just want to add to Mrs. Dolan was asking about, and that is, there is no senior transportation on the weekends. There's not. So it's not at Lantern Hill, and there's not here. You've hired a bus driver, swell. That's great. Doesn't do anything for them for the weekends. So there is a way to do this.
And how do you propose to pay for it, John?
I've outlined the downtown improvement district, and that ordinance that was done in 2006. First when it was done that year. It says what we can do with this ordinance is promote business downtown. So we tax the people downtown, correct?
Let me ask you something, John. You've been on that DID board for how many years now?
Since 2006.
Right. Well, why haven't you done anything since 2006?
Because I'm not a business owner. What I
You
am,
are the treasurer.
are you yelling at me?
Are you not the treasurer?
The treasurer takes care of the business.
And this was never mentioned because I haven't heard one.
You're absolutely wrong.
Please.
You're absolutely wrong. So what's happened in that budget, if you look at it, you have money going right now from the DID to the borough. Right now, you have $30,000 in salary.
Excuse me.
I write the checks.
John, that goes for the public relations person. You know that
Al,
as
come
well
on,
as I do.
come on.
Stop.
Al, stop.
No,
Because
you
when
stop.
I went to
You stop.
when I went to Jim Testa and I said, where does that money go? I said, does it go to a specific person? And he said, no,
You know it does.
it doesn't.
It does, John.
Then talk to your CFO.
Yeah, okay. It does
goes
go to
into a
a certain
salary.
person. That was the agreement made to have
You're
a public.
absolutely wrong.
Well, apparently I'm not. You're walking off. So
You're absolutely wrong, Al. Because look at it. I
John.
do the books. I do the books.
you can do the books, and your book says you give the borough $30,000. You don't know where that money goes.
That's
I know
the
where it
whole
goes.
point. That's the whole point. Originally, you just said, Al.
You don't know where it goes. I do know where it goes.
No, Al. You said it's supposed to go to salary.
It does.
No, it doesn't. You just said that it doesn't know. I don't know where it goes.
You don't know where it goes. I know exactly where it goes.
No, you
It
don't.
goes to offset the. John, I'm not going to argue with you.
You
You're
don't, Al, because
ill-informed
here's
because you
the-
don't know. You
Al,
do
please,
not
Al,
know.
I write the check.
I don't care if you write the check. You write a check for $30,000 to the borough. That's all
correct.
you know. You don't know where that is dispersed to.
That's
It
the
is
whole
used-
point. The
it's
whole
u-
point in the bylaws that when we originally did this for the DID, it was for the
I
community
was
relations.
there, John.
Al,
I know
you're not listening
exactly
to
where-
yourself.
You wanted to. Really?
You're not because
You wanted to. The business community wanted to hire a public relations person. Is that correct?
we had a public relations person. We did, Joe.
Right.
Joe Steiner.
Joe Steiner hasn't been involved for years.
You're asking me whether we hired one or not.
Joe, you know what? You should get your facts straight.
I've
John, you
I've
know
got
what? You and I have
17
been
years
friends
of
for a
facts.
lot of years.
but
I
Al,
don't-
I've got the facts.
listen, you don't have the facts. You have the fact that the DID
Right.
pays the borough $30,000.
So let's go back. Let's go
fact.
back to the original premise.
Now, you know what? I think we're done talking
No,
about
we're not.
it.
So the original premise was, what the DI do?
What's that?
There's an agreement, John.
Right.
I understand, but the DID was originally set up to promote the businesses downtown, right? So when that was done, Al, you're shaking your head, but
Because you don't know what you're talking about, John.
Can I just?
And I'm trying to
No.
be polite about it, but you're being obstinate. I'm telling you where the money goes. You just don't want to hear it. And I understand that
Al,
it's
all I
silly.
know is I read a check to the
John?
Borough of New Providence.
And that's exactly what I said.
But
But you don't know where that money goes. I'm telling
that's
you where it
exactly
goes.
my point.
But I just told you where it goes. What don't you understand?
I feel like I'm gonna who's on first episode.
Yeah,
for a
it's like
second.
a merry-go-round.
Can I just, John? The mayor should try to let you know that you write the check. The check comes to the borough. The borough uses that funds with its
Yep.
agreement with the downtown improvement district to pay
That's
for
not what your
a
CFO
public
says.
relations
That's
person.
not what your CFO says. Okay?
Well, we have an
You
agreement.
have an agreement.
I'm telling
And
you
that's
what your
where the money
CFO
goes.
says.
Thank you. That's where the money goes.
Excuse me?
We're not collecting the money and
What did you
and not
say?
using it.
I said it.
Yeah, I think we heard what you said. You know, I understand it's election season. I call it silly season. And what I have seen written, what I have seen reposted, I think it's disgusting. I've never seen this kind of stuff in this town. We're always known as nice place, nice people. I get attacked. I'm not even getting a run. I'm not even running. But for people to go call other people names like lowlifes, pedophiles, it's unbelievable to me. And no, somebody reposted it. And let me tell you something, John. When you repost something, you own it too. Okay, I'm not talking to you. When you repost something, you own it just as the person that wrote it. I have to tell you, you asked the question, I gave you an answer. It's not the answer you want to hear. Even our court said we have an agreement. We know exactly where that money goes. Exactly where every penny goes. Anyone else wishing to address council? Seeing nowhere, I declare the public comments closed. I need a motion for
1 through 5,
1 through how many?
7, 1 through 5, and 7 to 12.
So moved.
Second?
One moment, please.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
Mr. Desarnais?
Aye.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Mrs. Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Cogan?
Yes.
Mrs. McKnight? Yes. And then number 6.
And number 6.
So move.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Belisca?
Aye.
Mr. Desarnais?
Aye.
Mrs. Jeffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Cogan?
Yes.
Mrs. McKnight? Yes.
Motion for adjournment.
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, so be it.